What gives, man? There are definitely correct ways and incorrect ways to fight the bosses in Lost Skies. But apparently, trying to fight them with a train is not the right way to do it. Okay, there goes that ship, I guess. Don't worry. I did beat it eventually, with only a healthy amount of losses. But if you want to see that roller coaster of a fight, you'll check out my earlier video. The purpose of this video is to tell you how to fight the bosses in Lost Skies the right way. There's kinda two good strategies to fight the bosses that I'm aware of. I'll show them both off. The second one, well, it sure makes it easy, but it kinda abuses a bit of the game's mechanics. And you'll probably want some engines for it, so you don't have to rely on unreliable wind power. The first method feels more intended, and I've kinda showed it before, but it's pretty simple. 9 sections, cannons on one side, it'll just be a brick. This will be the optimal ship. Basically, the idea is it's a broadside ship, all the cannons on one side. It makes it very easy to do a kind of death spiral with the arbiter, some sails on top. The important part is everything important is hidden inside, tucked away. You want the helm, the core, any storage as far away from the cannon side as possible, because the cannon side is the side that'll be taking all the shots. And as you can see, I put a lot of panels in between. That's because I've realized that panels actually absorb damage. So even if this cannon gets directly impacted by a cannon shot from the arbiter, the panels around it will absorb its damage so the cannon doesn't take too much. That's why I've also surrounded my sail controls, my storage, helm, and core with a bunch of panels. The more panels you can have, the better. I found that on an about max weight ship that has the enhancer on it, having this many sails, having 8 sails is pretty much all you'll ever need for fighting the arbiter. You don't need much speed at all, just kind of enough to get there. And after that, there's not any speed requirement like there was for the herald. 1 lift sail has also proven to be very nice. This design will definitely still work for later bosses like heralds and whatnot, but obviously, once you get engines, you'll want to replace the sails with those for speed. But the important part is all the cannons in a line so that you can access them from the helm in a very nice fashion. Case in point. For those who don't know, I'm using multiple cannons in a line so that you can get around having to wait for the cooldown on individual cannons. Also, they're controlled remotely by holding right click while on the helm, and you can cycle through them by hitting F. Well then here's a little tip. If you turn your clouds to your lowest setting, the cloud resolution, you can often see stuff through the clouds. Yeah, namely like the arbiter, as you can see its outline right there, right at my cursor. It's a little bit finicky, but if you turn your camera the right ways, it'll often show it to you. Okay, and it is go time! Alright, so turn into getting a good battle spiral turn. Get cannons on our broadside. There we go. Now we can just let loose our volley. Let fly the cannons. Perfect. Once you're in a battle, it's pretty much just as easy as keeping a slow turn going to keep the boss on your broadside. And if you hit the same part repeatedly enough times, usually you can break the part and do some massive damage. Kinda like the herald from early access. And remembers that. Well, I'd like to see some broken parts. Yeah, there's some broken parts. Saw massive damage right there. I think that was breaking one of the arms off. Let fly the volley. GG's. Too easy. Yeah, if you know what you're doing and have a cannon or a ship set up for it, it's really not that bad. And as you can see, the panels have taken pretty much all the damage rather than cannons themselves. Tech guides, manifold, neural cluster, some schematics, some low tier schematics, more tech guides. Yeah, and after the fact, even though these panels look rather damaged, they're really, none of them are even below half health. They're really pretty alright. And they all absorb damage from the cannons, so that the cannons didn't actually take any real damage, nor did any other vital parts of the ship. As far as repairing goes, if you're playing solo like I am, then you'll almost definitely find that managing, repairing, steering, shooting, and all the things at once is nearly an impossible task with how long repairing takes. So in my opinion, the best strategy for that is just to cram in a lot of panels and effectively give yourself a larger health pool, and just try to focus on killing the boss before you need to make repairs. With how panels work, it seems like until they get destroyed, you don't have to worry about anything important taking damage, since the panels will sop up all the damage instead. Running away to make repairs does kind of work, but the reality is that the boss will just chase you until the ends of the earth, and eventually catch you again if you don't have enough speed, as seen here. I'm actively running away from you, but bosses following you forever can be used to your advantage. To use the boss following you to your advantage, Instead of having all your cannons in a line along one of the sides of your ship, just have them in a line on the back of your ship, so that with the herald or arbiter, boss, harbinger, whatever following you behind, you can just kind of keep driving forwards and lay into it from the rear. Makes it for an easy strategy. Plus, this is arguably less specialized than having all the cannons on one side. You can just slap the cannons on the back of any ship, rather than having to make room for engines and whatnot. The one thing worth noting though is, you will want all your important parts, all your vitals, to be at the front of the ship. The helm, the core, engines, etc., since you will definitely be taking shots from the back. It is worth noting you will need a ship that goes fast enough, because if the boss catches up to you, you might not last very long. You will need to be going fast enough that you can keep it, well, in your line of fire. Also, I've generally found that for this strategy, you want some cannons with decent mobility stats so you can stay on them and keep firing rather than having to adjust your ship. Additionally, if it wasn't clear, you definitely don't have to do this on a trained ship. It honestly probably works better on a normal ship. I just like to challenge myself. And as you can see, once we've run away from it after starting the fight, the arbiter will chase us down until the ends of the earth. You want to be just outside the fight radius, otherwise you'll take a bunch of shots from the arbiter himself, I think. While this is without a doubt safer, it definitely takes some more time since you have to carefully plan every shot to hit them. But it does work, no doubt about that. And if you go in at about 10 knots, it seems like you get this perfect rhythm of the arbiter kind of, or any boss really, slowly dipping in and out of the fight, giving you a lot of peace and, well, time to aim and shoot while it doesn't shoot at you. All in all, both strats definitely work. Personally, I'm a little bit more partial to the fast-paced chaos of the first strat, broadsiding the boss, just trading blows. Though, the second strat of keeping the boss at multiple arm's lengths and sniping it from a safe distance certainly has its merits, especially on a lighter ship. But either way, I hope some of these strategies and tips have been able to help. That's all I got for now. Till next time, take care. Bye bye!